So this is a quick demo of our taxi data visualizer. So this is the front end, and this will give us our lovely visualizations, and then it's querying a SQL database storing about, if I remember right, 13 million taxi trips that were made in New York. So this is our query GUI, which was made by Aaron Nolan, and it allows you to select all kinds of fields. So you've got different sample sizes if you want to query just a small number of the results. You can go up to millions. You get different ones as well. So here's our first visualization. This is a heat map. So it kind of shows you the density of taxis in those areas, the density of pickups. So we do it by height, and then the color is logarithmic, so if you have really big differences, it's really rather attractive. This is a different visualization here. These were both done by Cal, whose surname I forget. This is Shane Faye's, where you have a fantastic location tracker, so it picks up it counts all the taxis that were dropped passengers off at that location. Obviously not the total number, but just from the sampled queried amount. This is our query comparator, so you can compare to. We'll come back to that. This is a kind of a 3D clock showing the number of passengers by the height of the line, and then the time by its location on the clock, which looks just super cool. That was John Milton there. And finally, Shane also did this here as well, where it just kind of performs basic arithmetic stats and creates the pie charts. So just go back to the query comparison just so you can see. We can set two different queries, and then they'll show up as bars in the same location. So we can query, for example, afternoon and kind of evening to night. And then query 1 shows up in red, query 2 shows up in blue. Oh no, sorry, vice versa to that. So we can see the different locations that people are using taxis, say, day and night. And this is my baby. This is the taxi trip visualizer. So it takes each trip, creates a little 3D object to represent the taxi, and then moves it between them in real time. So there's no path finding, but it does look pretty cool. We can show it in all kinds of factors of real time. So we can show it like with real time actually being the lowest because it's quite slow. So speeding it up makes it look a lot more interesting when you have this kind of zoom on the go. You can see there's some that are going through the river because there's no path finding. And yeah, so we have the clock and the date, and you can see the airports if we zoom out a little bit. So that's LaGuardia, I think, and then this one over here is JFK, and Newark Airport is over in the west, but it's a different taxi company, so we have no data for that one. We only see the taxis that go out there occasionally, and so you can see the different days we can skip through as well as the different times. So this is about 7 in the morning. We can speed it up. It's like 100 times real time. We can go through the whole sunrise and sunset. So something that I really enjoyed about doing this was we actually ended up having some spare time, and I managed to make the sunrises and sunsets accurate to the minute for when the real ones were in New York, and of course the sunrises earlier and earlier, and the sunsets later and later. So you can see that actually happen if you had a big enough data set and a powerful enough machine to visualize all the taxis throughout. You could watch the whole month and see the sun rising and setting as it really did in 2013 in January. So I'm just going to leave you now with a bit of silence, and you can watch more of it in action if you want.